In a world filled with magic comes an academy where the most prestigious students come together and practice and master their magic. But then one day, a teacher comes in and decides to teach the students. Now, this teacher has an interesting past, and we'll tell you a little bit more about it in this review. How's it going, everybody? I'm Chris.
And I'm Christina. And welcome to Average Anime Reviews, where we get to be reviewing some of our favorite animes that we have watched in the previous season.
Now, before you watch this anime review, just to make sure,
there may be spoilers in this review, so please take some precaution.
Now, this week's anime review is Rokudenashi Majutsu Koushi to Akashic Records. And in English, it is
Akashic Records of Bastard Magical Instructor. And what this anime is all about? It involves a teacher known as Glenn Raiders, who comes into Academy, becomes a substitute teacher for one of his classes, and from there, that's where all the adventure begins for him. Now, when he first steps into the Academy as a substitute teacher, well, he didn't really have anything planned for his students. So there was basically a study period. It has gone to a point where one of the students named Christina decides to challenge him and tells him to step up. After many attempts of trying to convince her teacher to basically step his game up and practically failed and didn't really do anything, from there she decides to duel him and face him one-on-one in a magic challenge. After that duel, well, she decides to grow a lot more respect for him, and from there, that's where more adventures begin, because this time it involves with three of the main characters, which we will go on further in this anime. Also in this anime, there's also some really cool stuff. There's also a school festival and challenges, as well as fun field trips, but there's also really cool mysteries that are really unraveled in this anime. After that duel between Christine and Glenn, well, it turns out that there's another anime that comes into play. And with these animes, they are known as the researchers of divine wisdom. And they basically just want to take over the empire. And also in this anime, they're trying to kidnap Rumia for their wrongdoings. Now, all of you must be wondering what to expect in this anime. From what I've seen and what I can tell you guys, expect a lot of humor, especially with some hentai moments, as well as a lot of betrayal and some average fighting scenes. Overall, I really did enjoy the storyline and the plot of this anime, but there are a few flaws, which Chris will be explaining to you guys by the end of this video.
Now, in this anime, there are three characters that are mainly focused throughout this series, and I'm going to start off with the main male character, which is Glenn Raiders. Now, in the beginning of this anime, Glenn was not the best character. He really had an attitude towards the students. He acted like a slacker, he was a real jerk in the beginning, and just didn't really care about anybody except for him. He definitely talks up a show towards his students and others in the series. Now, the students find it really annoying at first, but then once he shows his true colors and shows that he can be passionate about magic, well, that changes the perspectives of the students and the people around them. Now, in the series, he has a mysterious past that people are wondering. He's only a third-rate mage, but when you see his powers in action, you would have to think twice when you see him. Luckily for him, he had Celicia helping him along the way, and whenever somebody questions Glenn, well, Celicia is there to vouch for him. What I really like about Glenn is that he can be very funny at moments where times are rough. Now, the next character is Christine. Now, Christine is a very serious student at first. She wants to master her magic to achieve a goal that she set in the beginning of the series. Now, at first, she wasn't a huge fan of Glenn because he wasn't serious enough about teaching her and the students how to use magic. But once she saw how Glenn teaches his way of magic, it definitely changes her perspective on him. She now realizes that yes, he is serious about it, but he does it in a manner where you can have fun with it. Now, on the outside, she can be very serious, but on the inside, she can be very vulnerable. And the relationship between Glenn and Sistine is pretty much a love-hate relationship. It definitely shows that Sistine has some feelings for Glenn, but at the same time when Glenn does something stupid, well, she goes back to hating him. So it's kind of like an old married couple in a way. And I thought that made some of the encounters pretty funny to watch. And the next character is Rumia. Now Rumia is a very sweet character. She's very soft-spoken, but she wants to use her magic to help others. Now with Rumia, she does have an interesting past as well, which you get to learn a little bit more throughout the anime. I wish they could have talked a little bit more about her, but what they showed was okay. She is very strong-willed at any given moment. All she wants to do is help out her friends, her family, Glenn, and anybody else that's in need. Now all three of them together, they do make some hilarious encounters, some perverted moments, and they do help out each other at certain moments throughout the series. So I'm glad that they actually collaborate with each other in the series. Now overall with the characters, I thought they were okay. I could have wished they talked a little bit more about Glenn's past. We get a gist of what his past is, but I wish they went a little bit more into it. And that goes with Sistine's past as well. They do mention what her goal is when she masters her magic, but you don't see her pursuing that goal a lot throughout the rest of the series. So overall, what do we think of the series? Well, we thought it was good. It's nothing special. It's still a fun watch. They could have went more in depth with the characters, building their character up a little bit more, especially for Sistine and Glenn. Now, would I recommend watching this? Well, if you have some time, I say check it out. But I can't say is that you won't be missing anything if you don't watch it. What I thought was questionable is the school uniforms for the female characters. It's just a weird design that they went with. Maybe just to try to sell the anime a little bit more with showing some revealing characters. It does have some perverted moments, which helps out with the anime with humor. But I wish we could have learned a little bit more about the anime itself. And I felt that there could have been maybe a rival for Glenn to help out with the series and make the series more interesting. Now, I would recommend if there were to be a season 2 is to go a little bit more in depth and more serious with the story. Other than that, that's pretty much it. The animation is nothing special. It's basically your typical animation. The seals of the magic do look interesting, but you already see that a lot in other animes involving magic. There's a lot of flaws to it, but it's still watchable. And overall, what would you rate this series?
Well, despite the flaws that it has, I really did enjoy watching the characters and the plot in action, including the fighting scenes. I thought it was pretty dope. For that, I have to give it a 7.
Overall, I thought the anime was pretty average. It was nothing special. It does have its moments, and it was decently entertaining. It had its funny moments, it had its decent action scenes, it has the typical beach episode and school festival, which is okay because many animes already have that, so I can't really fault it for that. But overall, I still enjoyed it, and I would have to give it a 6.
And overall, everyone, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.
And if you watch this anime, feel free to tell us what you thought about the anime. Was it good? Was it bad? Tell us how you felt about the anime overall down in the comments below.
Plus, if you really enjoyed watching this week's anime review, give it a thumbs up. Plus, if you guys really want to learn more about the synopsis and the main characters of the show, I'll be sure to leave the links down below. As well as a written anime review written by me.
If you want to watch the anime for yourself, we will definitely try to leave a link down below for you guys to check out for yourselves. And if you want to leave a recommendation of what should we watch next, or maybe in the future, feel free to leave in the comments below.
And overall, everyone, on that note, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you next time at the next Average Anime Review. Take care! Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you really enjoyed this week's Average Anime Review, give it a thumbs up. And plus, if you're new to the channel and wants to see more of our stuff every week, well, make sure to subscribe because we do this frequently. Plus, if you want to see our previous works of our average anime review, we'll leave our links down below, as well as our social media accounts in case if you guys want to follow back. Once again, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you next time at the next average anime review. Take care!